G'day folks, Duckphil here. We're going to have another game from the Korean ladder. This is going to be a PvZ. We're going to get it pretty insane here. There is one player you may have heard of slightly, and another player you probably won't have heard of at all. So we'll have a look at these two players here. Just firstly, down in the bottom right hand side is our Protoss. This is going to be PsWLuxury from the Passion Shall Win clan. I think I've seen him around a little bit. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys have heard of him as well. Our other player, which actually we'll just see that Luxury is just going to head down to the expansion here. Of course, it's a great way to play this map as a Protoss, is to get that Forge Fast expansion going. You can either do it a couple of ways. You can wall off over here, put a pylon down, and wall that off, or you can do it with one pylon here, I believe, and wall off that way. But what you can also do is either you can pylon here and wall across that way, or what you can do, which I like to do, is put a pylon there and just it's a little bit more exposed. But if you put a pylon here, I believe it is, and then put a forge down there, it fits beautifully, nice and flush with the nexus that goes down there. So I don't know, it's up to you. There are obviously particular ways to do it and particular ways to get it done, which people like to prefer. So it's up to you, but that's the various ways which it can be done. Anyway, hey, our other player that you may have slightly heard of from time to time, or perhaps just never, I'm not actually sure. Something by the name of IMNestea. This is going to be Nestea up in the top left-hand corner, and he's going to be playing. We'll see what he gets up to. He did get that gas pretty quickly, so we're probably going to look for him to get a SpeedLing expand. But just encountering a Luxury on the ladder, imagine how that would feel, just coming up against Nestea, probably one of the greatest Zerg players, and I don't know, perhaps the greatest Zerg player to play StarCraft 2. I don't know. That's up. It's up to you guys. Who do you think is the best Zerg player? Either tweet me or post a comment on the video. Is Nestea the best ever Zerg player? Or is there perhaps someone else? I know there are some fantastic European Zergs, perhaps one of them. Or perhaps there's a style that you like from some of the other Zerg players, but let me know what you think. But we'll see what Luxury gets up to here. He's obviously going to have to pull out all the stops to get this done. Nestea is famous for winning GSLs. He's famous for winning at other various events as well, so we'll see what he does as well. And as we can see here, Luxury doing this a slightly different way than I was talking about before. What he's actually done is put the gateway across the top of the nexus. You can see there that gateway actually goes across that position. So this cannon is actually almost fully walled off itself. So that'll cover a lot of this position here. And this extra cannon down here will cover this spot quite nicely. So I actually really like that. That's a really good wall. But he's gotten a third cannon, in fact, being very worried here. He knows that those lings are coming out. Speed is on the way. It's in fact about 3/4 done. And in fact, the Baneling Nest is actually coming through as well. So we'll have a quick look to see if what Luxury spotted. He did see the expansion, did see the spawning pool, of course. And now, in fact, a few more lings coming out here from Nestea. He's even got 6 extra on the way. I'm really wondering why he's going so hard at this. Perhaps it is because Luxury did not use the more standardized wall off, which is actually along here, which can be quite easily defended. He does look as if he's going to try and poke in at the natural expansion here with all of these links coming across. Speed is now done. This could get a little bit ugly for Luxury. We'll see what happens here. In fact, there you go, getting some Baneling straight up. Now, it looks as if Nestea is going to try and take advantage of this back position here. May use some of the lings to try and take some of the damage from this low position cannon, and then may just try and actually bust through this section here. Either he may look to try and get through that forge. I know I'm pretty sure 6 is enough to bust through a forge. I'm not exactly sure, but here he comes. Does look as if he's going to try and get through here, putting down a gateway. Beautiful work there by Luxury, actually just blocking off half of that attack. And now, in fact, the probes were just trying to run along with that Baneling, and we're doing a heap of damage when that Baneling exploded. The cannon actually causing almost the deaths of a lot of those probes. But now 4 probes inside the natural, not a huge amount, but certainly enough to cause a lot of trouble. Like if you come to Australia, there are a lot of flies here. That's the sort of thing that gets really annoying, and you have to swat them away. This is basically what Luxury is going to have to do. Be very micro-intensive with his probes. Going to need to be careful to try and surround the lings if he can. That's what he's trying to do there when he clicks into the minerals. I know if you're a bit of a if you're a lower league player, that the best way to deal with these lings is if they try and get in here inside your mineral line. What you need to do is grab all your probes, click onto a mineral patch like this one here, and then they'll swarm across and actually just walk through the lings. It's called mineral walking. So we'll see if that actually happens here. But 2 banelings off to the side actually getting blocked out by the sentry inside. In fact, wow, IMNestea's going to lose. Oh no, he doesn't actually lose the lings, but what he is doing is again just causing a lot of trouble here for Luxury, putting down making the sentry put a force field down, and now only 1 ling left. This is not going to do anything at all. In fact, he may get a probe here, which would be quite sad for Luxury. That was a little bit of a terrible micro mistake there by Luxury, but he has stabilized for the time being. He's currently sitting at a supply of 37. He's got this base up and running down here, a little bit behind in the probe count, of course, losing a couple of them there to that attack, but +1 weapons is on the way, along with Warp Gate Tech just about to be completed. Meanwhile, back at home, IMNestea has grabbed his 3rd base. He's droned up pretty decently, considering he did go for that early baneling nest, and he's now going to head for the Evo chamber just to make sure he has the potential to put up some air defense with the spore crawlers, and is now going to look to try and get his economy back on track. He could be in a little bit of a better spot with the economy, but now the trouble is going to be, in fact, wow, Luxury is going to go for what looks to be a 7-gate +1 attack here. We'll see which unit he actually prefers to go for once he gets those gates up. I'm assuming it's going to be a pretty decent mixture of units, probably favoring a few more stalkers, perhaps considering that there may be the threat of roaches. But what I would like to see him do is actually try and send a probe across the map just to see if he can get a read on what IMNestea is up to. Lair on the way for IMNestea, and we'll see if that comes in time. What he will need to do is probably get some of those roaches going, as we mentioned. Banelings are not going to be able to do too much depending on how Luxury beefs up this force that he's sending out. In fact, going very heavy on those sentries there, and a probe is coming with this force, going to put down a pylon just here, and going to be able to use that to warp in some more units. But of course, what you really want to do is get that more towards the center, if not in this sort of position near your opponent's base. So we'll see what he is going to do. The Ling sitting at the watchtower is now very afraid of this force coming through. IMNestea going to need to pump out some units. He does hit up around about 10 Lings. There are lots of Lings coming through. There is no baneling speed just yet. Of course, the lair is only just about half done right now. In fact, actually, it's already done, my bad. But banelings are not going to cut it in this particular attack. Looking at that probe just popping up there, having a look at exactly what's here, and it is absolutely 1+0 here for IMNestea. He's only got a couple of spine crawlers on the way. Beautiful force fields there to hold out those banelings while the stalkers pick them off, and then trying to push up the ramp. I would say that Luxury is going to be easily able to take this base, despite the fact that these 2 spine crawlers will probably do a lot of damage to those sentries at the front. Drones trying to get into the fight there, but they're going to have no effect on that at all, given that the sentries are able to block them out. 1 stalker sitting on the ground. Pylon, just allowing the extra warp in here for Luxury. This 7-gate attack is going to be absolutely massive, especially with that +1 already done. IMNestea losing drones by the handful here, but a lot of banelings at the top of the ramp. In fact, wow, some beautiful micro there by Luxury to pull back just in time, able to surround the banelings with a sentry donut there, handcrafted by those force fields, just capturing some of those banelings, and was able to pick them off before he proceeded up the ramp. Is going to head in right now here. We've got a lot of stalkers. They do have +1, so they do fantastic damage. Beautiful force field wall again from Luxury. Is going to be able to hold out these banelings. Will he be able to? Yes, he will. Some more force fields just in time, and there go all of those banelings, and that is why you cannot defend that sort of attack with banelings. It is just not possible, because the banelings will either get just torn to shreds or exploded, I suppose, by the stalkers, or these sentries if well microed, like someone such as Huck or MC, of course, does his own very nice force field, and we can see that Luxury did some here as well. So not a good lesson there from IMNestea, but he did a nice attack at the start and got some good damage in, but was unfortunately not able to follow it up. So Luxury taking a win off one of the best players in the world at the moment. If you ask Artosis, he's the god of the universe. But hope you guys enjoyed that one. Make sure you subscribe and have a chat to me on Twitter if you do. It's at DuckvilleLol, or send me a replay, duckvillelol@gmail.com.